Batavia down. With more, lots more.
Folks, welcome back to the show where it is not wrestling with your budget. It is not wrestling with your conscience. It is wrestling with emotion. And we got a rare face-off. Is this an Iron Man match coming in? 2 men go in, 1 man come out. We'll be right here for about 60 minutes. Falls count anywhere. Slick, what is up, sir? Crazy past week when I think back the last literal 168 hours between AEW Mexico. You had the Pipe Bomb 2.0. Then you had the SummerSlam Kickoff, which we were in attendance for at Fanatics Fest. Then you had a Monday Night Raw with, dare I say, a main event that could have been on a pay-per-view. And now we're getting ready for another big AEW night. It's been quite the and then, of course, you have the reality of current events also affecting wrestling. It's just been craziness.
Yeah, you said it best. The past whatever hours, so much has happened in the world of wrestling and in the world in general. And obviously you and I were lucky enough to be at Fanatics Fest for the SummerSlam kickoff. But yeah, even in between now and then, so much has happened. Let's not forget the Slim Jim table made its debut in one of the biggest spots maybe ever. So shout out to them really pushing that. Yeah, just some crazy stuff, man. The kickoff was great. And then obviously they're ignoring the fact that Night of Champions this upcoming Saturday might be in jeopardy, Maniac, or are we past that? Are they going forward? Seems like they're going forward at this rate.
They're making you believe they're going forward, but you can't tell me there aren't some talks of them, some things going sideways. Obviously, we had our source tell us that WWE had reached out to a American-based arena about availability for Night of Champions. So stay tuned there for sure. But sweeping first, we'll go back. I think we got to go back. Obviously, AEW Mexico was a Grand Slam, was a great event. Obviously, MJF got attacked, so the marks were marking in Mexico. With that said, I think we got to talk Pipe Bomb 2.0. I know you've watched it at this point with the highlights and everything. I'm curious your thoughts because we were out in New York City, traveled 18 hours. I don't think we saw SmackDown. I didn't think we saw the highlights on the timeline until the next morning.
Yeah, no, I think the first time we watched the clip was on the way back after the Yankee game. So we weren't in the best frame of mind to fully take it in for the first time, maybe. My initial reaction was that I thought it was kind of lame. And there wasn't a lot of significance. Like it was kind of just calling back to the original Pipe Bomb, which usually you love a callback in wrestling, but not when it's the entire promo, the skeleton of the entire first Pipe Bomb itself.
Shout out Chris, Max, and Jason on Instagram. 2 minutes live right now. Wrestling with Emotion, brought to you by Batavia Downs.
I was kind of bothered by the 3 names he dropped.
That seemed odd at first.
That was lame as hell because, like, at first I was like, oh, he's just saying the real name of 3 wrestlers who used to work for this company so he can get away with it. And in reality, they have no significance to CM Punk basically whatsoever. I thought that was lame, but I was wrong. Someone in our chat did send a video. There was an old clip of CM Punk mentioning all 3 guys in the same breath. Yeah. So it is a great callback from Cena. He did his homework. Punk's great at that as well when he calls back to some of his original lines like he was doing in AEW when he first got there from the Ring of Honor days. So I did that made up for it for me in terms of the names. I still don't know like how it's just like immediately as good in people's brains because it's like I said, it's the skeleton of the first one with the roles reversed and some different attributes to it and a Slim Jim table inserted. Oh, and Cena's in the ring talking his shit right over Punk rather than Punk talking shit to Cena from
it was kind of more corporate because it forced the Slim Jim angle and it kept everything in the ring, whereas Punk's was right, it was sitting down at the top.
Punk couldn't get up for like 15 minutes, dude.
Funny, dude. You know, there was at one point where Punk was like, "This motherfucker, he's taking liberties. Dude, he's taking liberties right now."
Bro, even during the original Pipe Bomb, like Cena was starting to sit up at like during halfway through. and like look at Punk and listen to what he was saying. Like this one, Punk was just out for the count, like selling his soul for Slim Jim while Cena berated him. But you know, I guess I liked it. I like John Cena, so I thought it was well done. I suppose it was a little corny, just how frame for frame it was like the original.
I think is it fair that kind of like everything with this Cena heel run is coming off a little corny when we want it to be a little edgy?
I think
like
that's
you
the
think back
point.
to even Travis Scott interrupting at WrestleMania. Like it's almost like he took purposely forever to get to the ring. Like again, it was just more shit where like, and Cena was laughing at that point. He was like, "Oh, this is like comical." Like, so I just start to think that like, yeah, ruining wrestling, he's doing it in ways he's not even pointing out.
By the way, you and I were at Fanatics Fest. We saw Cena on the stage. We didn't see. He was going around to other exhibits.
Apparently,
There was one, the UFC one, the punching bag, where he did the work hit on the punching bag, turned around to the crowd and said, "Haven't actually hit anyone in 25 years. Sayonara." And then went over to the basketball court and basically just started throwing up 3-point hook shots that weren't even hitting the backboard. And someone in the comments was like, he's literally just ruining everything at Fanatics Fest like he is with wrestling. Yeah. So if that's what he's going for, he's doing a damn good job. And it is pretty funny.
I get it. I think he is working on it. Again, it came across as a little corny on the TV stuff, but you're right. If he's like ruining the Fanatics Fest experiences by being like mopey, like dopey John Cena, that's pretty amazing and pretty unbelievable for sure. So we'll get to see it. I think Cena as a heel is picking up momentum. Clearly, Pipe Bomb 2.0 is a step in the right. Moving the Punk feud is moving in the right direction, right? Because the best moments of the Orton one were when Orton was stuck out of nowhere. Now we had finally Cena had a moment that so far was one of the better moments in his feuds. That's what, unfortunately Punky Brewster is going to have to do to get going in that regard. Do you think Cena Punk somehow happens in some form at SummerSlam? Like maybe Cena Punk Rhodes if we get a screwy finish at Night of Champions?
Yeah, I could see it. Because it's hard to pinpoint exactly who else Punk would be in the picture with at SummerSlam. I suppose if Seth Rollins has cashed in and become a champion by then, because it seems like he's going for the world heavyweight title. Obviously, you can't trust like a heel with the briefcase just saying that's the one they're going for usually, especially when he's got that faction around him. But as of right now, I'll believe that. So unless he's got that belt soon and then somehow gets tied in with Punk, I couldn't see who else they would pin Punk against at SummerSlam. So I could definitely see the possibility of that match coming to fruition.
So we had some other great moments. I got to ask Logan Paul about the 24/7 title. We had you doing the final boss entrance. Then we got to see the Triple H spit off. A lot of great stuff, obviously, at Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, really good. If you're a wrestling fan, you would love Fanatics Fest. And those fans show out, obviously, I think the most out of any sport there the whole weekend by far. The most passionate for sure. The SummerSlam kickoff was packed to the gills and rowdy as well, Maniac. And we had the credentials to be in media row. So got some pretty cool views. Cole and what's his name? Peter Rosenberg kicking off SummerSlam. By the way, if any Jets and Giants fans are watching this is happening at MetLife SummerSlam, August 2nd and 3rd. And this is labeled as SummerSlam New Jersey. So I don't want to hear any more shit about we play in New York. We're New York's team. No, just end the season. You are not New York's team. New York has one team, and that is the Buffalo Bills. And SummerSlam New Jersey is just another example of that.
Oh, did you just mic drop on Jets and Giants fans at the same time there?
Pipe Bomb 3.0, baby.
Okay.
First ever 2-night SummerSlam, Maniac, though. Got a lot to book on this card.
Got a lot to book. I think we will get a women's main event night one, potentially with Rhea Ripley. Mommy, obviously always on top. Can't have a women's main event in that card and not have her involved somehow, in my opinion. And then night two will be Cena defending against Cody Rhodes. after he wins in a crazy run match. I mean, I had to watch this one back. There were some big time highlights. Jey Uso takes 3 Cody cutters, including essentially 2 from the top rope before we get a final crossroads to finish him off. Jey Uso hits the crossroads on Cody. Can't make the pin quick enough. But yeah, that was a match that you could have easily thrown at like a WWE Backlash, to be honest.
100%. That's a match. You know, those guys have history. They were tag team champions together. Jay was involved with the Bloodline when it was Cody's mission to kind of take them down. So there's a lot of storytelling there. And the fact that they're going for that on a Raw, it says a lot. You know, they're trying to make a statement, and I like it. Making much more a big deal of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament than years previous. And I like to see that kind of because, you know, there were years where the tournament died down or it just lacked real value of importance. But having 2 guys like main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes in that final on Raw to go to the King of the Ring final, that's some pretty good stuff there. So Batavia down.
On the other side of the action, Batavia Down's opening day next month. Yeah, let's get to racing for sure. And also, obviously, we have Rockin' the Downs as well getting going. So Batavia Downs, there's no shortage of action, folks, there where you can always win more, lots more.
Batavia Down is more, lots more.
Speaking of winning more, lots more, Slick, your girl finally is winning more, lots more. Jade Cargill, a storm is coming to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. This could be for a potential title shot at SummerSlam. Could the first title shot be at SummerSlam? I mean, I guess, you know, she's put in the time. She's put in the work. She definitely deserves it if WWE is ready to pull the trigger. But it will be no easy feat. As on the other side, I mean, Miss Main Event herself, essentially, Asuka, waiting for Jade Cargill. Slick, I know Jade is your girl. I know you want her to step all over you with a big win with the crown and the Queen of the Ring. Do you think it's fair for her in her first shot to beat Asuka at Queen of the Ring in Night of Champions?
I do. Just given the circumstances, Asuka's just come back. I think they can work around it. Maybe some ring rust can come into play here. But if they want to send Jade to the moon, this is the time to do it. And something just happens to be telling me that we're going to get Jade winning the Queen of the Ring, winning a belt at SummerSlam, only for an impending Naomi waiting in the wing with that briefcase on the women's side of things. So I think it's justifiable to beat Asuka in this situation, given I don't think she's going to have that title long if she wins it. If she wins it, you know, I could be totally wrong. They could just have Asuka win this and go get a title shot at SummerSlam as well. But I think the whole point they're trying to set up here, right, is the cash in from Naomi.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm sorry. What you just described at SummerSlam is so messy. Oh my goodness, it would just be absolutely brutal.
I mean, how chaotic would that be? It would be insane.
It would be perfect. There's nothing better than a first-time win or like a big triumphant win by a face, or up-and-comer finally ruined by a dastardly cash in, especially by a vet. Yes, for certain.
And that would be our second cash in if we witness one. So.
Yeah. Oh, agreed. Second at SummerSlam by a woman. As well.
Yeah.
So a lot of tradition there for us. Speaking of tradition, well, real quick, so we'll talk Steve Money. Let's see what we got. She's still pretty green and unnatural in the ring, but yes, that's the thing. Just like you need a Gunther to carry a Goldberg through a match right now, you need not the same situations, but just as far as how they are in the ring right now, you need an Asuka to carry a Jade Cargill. Again, Jade Cargill can be a powerhouse. Asuka can make her look appropriately like that powerhouse, like that in-ring threat, like that phenomenon that she is, obviously. Real quick, so should we go to AEW or should we talk Night of Champions craziness that's currently happening live just for like a couple minutes?
Let's just stick on the WWE for now.
Okay. So, I mean, at first, like it seemed like over the last day, they're definitely 1,000% going forward. Were there whispers in the last hour that there could be something? Were people
There's
tweeting like memes?
so there's some news swirling that there's certain wrestlers. I don't know who. I haven't heard any names. There
News swirling.
are possibly champions involved in this group, this pool of wrestlers that are protesting going to the whole PLE in itself, not wanting to travel to Saudi Arabia given the circumstances. Frankly, I don't blame them.
Hard to blame. So right
when
here,
will-
so this is
when
one of the
will we-
ones you're talking about. Is this one of those like this person's connected?
Yes, but also you need to not read too much into that one. I mean, like the Phil Brooks humiliation tour enjoyer doesn't seem like the most
No, that's a source.
unbiased.
That's a source.
Doesn't seem like the most unbiased guy ever.
No, that's a source.
But no, I saw it from a couple others as well. So hard to blame him. Hard not to not believe that. And when we will find out who and if they're granted permission not to go, we may never know. But will be interesting if we do find out and what the result of that is.
For certain. I mean, all eyes will definitely be on it. So that's supposed to be at 1 p.m. And then they're supposed to be filming SmackDown there too?
Yeah, that's yeah, I believe so. I don't know. So will they be taping that SmackDown then? That can't be at like 1 p.m. as well. I mean, I guess it could,
yeah.
but
I think they might film it right after and then like get out or something. Someone said the plan was like, like they'd film them back to back there and then just air it on a delay later for the SmackDown of it. But yeah, no clue. Very interesting. Looking forward to seeing the storyline. Obviously goes out saying just need everyone to be safe, be sensible in the decision making, figure it out because obviously everyone's safety is preeminent on the entire situation. But with that said, moving on to AEW, we got a big Dynamite tonight. I think this question is fair because it feels to me, Sleck, like it would be perfect if All In was this weekend. They're just about ready, right? Like everything is kind of moved into place to where it should be. Everything is on fire right now, but now they got to wait about 2.5 weeks before they can get there.
yeah, it would almost be perfect if All In was right after Night of Champions, maybe even the Sunday after or the next weekend after, because frankly, with all that's involved right now and the looming potential of I'm like obviously don't want anything bad to happen, but this could get messy, Maniac. And I think it would be perfect for AEW to capitalize on something that maybe didn't hit as much as it was originally supposed to and capitalizing on having that right after that. So it is a shame there is like a little looming waiting period between.
Well, I'm just saying it's like you wish they probably it's not too different, dare I say, than the WrestleMania build. Remember where people were saying it kind of peaked 4 weeks in, and then they had to go into that hold pattern for 2 weeks, and then they had to get there. So it's kind of tough there, but that is obviously the dilemma that they all face. Oh, we got StarCast talking about everyone going there. I'm just checking out AEW's site right now. Where's my
the matches are down there.
where is it? I'm like scrolling out
You
the watch.
got-
Okay,
yeah,
the Hurt Syndicate will appear live tonight.
They will
That's
be
big.
there. They will be there. And we got a couple fatal 4-ways, I believe.
Okay. Well, this is really down here. This is crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there you go.
So we got Willow, Athena, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander 4-way for the number 1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet. And we have the same thing for the men's with Konosuke, Briscoe, Roderick, and Bandito. All right, so we'll see.
We should mention too, first ever women's Casino Gauntlet match is going to be taking place at All In. And that's like a crazy lineup right there, those 4 just to qualify. So I think they're really going to try and show out for this first ever women's Casino Gauntlet. Also, word on the streets is Elena Black, formerly Cora Jade, is wrestling a GCW show in Texas the night before All In. So when you talk about Casino Gauntlets, always having a Joker spot as a surprise entry, keep your eyes on that.
You definitely need to always keep your eyes on that with the surprise entries. Can I make a call right now?
Yeah.
Whatever's going to happen is going to happen at All In. The next AEW champion after Moxley and whatever happens at All In, Konosuke Takeshita. With Don Callis as the talking piece, and that's going to be Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, 2.0.1.
That would be huge for the family, man.
Oh, that would be massive for the dude. All I'm saying is Takeshita, and I don't have to scream it on this panel because I know you agree. I know Mike agrees. Top 5 current men's wrestler, and you know, maybe he's not 1 or 2, but he's been consistently there for the best year. To have beat Omega multiple times, pinned Omega or whatever. Like, you know, when Omega was bombing or dropping bombs in AEW a couple of years back. But I just feel like this is overdue to get Takeshita there. He's put in the work. He's been there for so long. Whoever takes the title or whatever, get Callis and get him a run up to the title and have him win the title with Callis.
Honestly, if they still want to put this belt on Darby, like that would be the perfect guy for Konosuke to take it off of. Yeah.
Yes.
Like he could just squash him and make him not look like a real, like he wasn't even worthy of the title in the first place.
Yeah. And then like the fall, dude, that'd be so funny. They'd be like, yeah, you climbed the mountain, but you couldn't stay at the top for more than a week. Like that. Yeah.
Oh my God. While everyone's going like, fuck Don Callis.
Yes.
Takeshita probably going to win the G1 too. That's huge. I didn't even take that into consideration.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention the Fanatics Fest. Shout out Fanatics for this dope Undertaker shirt.
Yeah, that is fire. I saw the back of that when you were walking away earlier.
Dude, it's really sick for sure. We love that. And speaking of sick, Hardys go through the multiverse. When I saw this, I was just so excited. That's why I said to myself, I go, that's why the Hardys are the Hardys. So
what happened here?
All I know is I don't need to know anything more. They went into this multiverse where it's the Subway Mania.
Subway. Oh, you're talking about Subway Mania. Oh yeah.
Where they went into this. They went into this subway and they started.
Yeah. So I think, by the way, these are like the first ever like actual wrestlers to appear at Subway Mania, professional ones at that. But yeah, some crazy shit goes on in the subway in New York. We all know that. But yeah, these boys doing Subway Mania, dressing up as some of the wrestlers. Like they had a cane entrance through like one of the rail cars the one time. I've seen like midgets put through tables on this. And then all of a sudden the Hardys are on the subway with all these marks, hitting the jukes, hitting deletes. That's why the Hardys are the people's champs, man. That's why they will be like the greatest tag team ever, always in my eyes. For the people.
The Hardys need to they need to have one more run in WWE for sure.
I mean, we know it's possible now.
They're still at their peak for sure. Yeah, and they're right in that neighborhood. I know. I appreciate them putting over other talent, definitely working the other things or whatever. They need to have one more run. I mean, were you watching when Jeff Hardy was had his singles run?
Yeah. That was, bro. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah, and like he had Edge dead to rights, and Hardy and Matt came down with the chairs for a concerto and just walloped Jeff.
Yeah, and the whole like Punk after the ladder match.
Oh, the Punk after the ladder. That we don't talk about that. We don't talk.
That was when I realized like the world is an evil place.
Yeah, dude, that was. Bro, because Edge was the most evil of all, and it was that would be there with like not on the same level, but Jade winning at SummerSlam and like Naomi coming in, like, yeah, for sure. Oh, dude, just absolutely brutal. I remember, dude, being so excited that Jeff Hardy was there. I thought for sure it was over. I don't think they did the promo card or whatever on the bottom. I don't think they did that. I don't think they went all the way with it.
Oh no, dude, that's like a new work.
They had the perfect angle of Jeff Hardy on the top turnbuckle, like holding the title, and like the screws turn to CM Punk's like theme, and you can see it like it's, oh dude, it was so
that was this
bad,
fire
bro.
That was this fire burns. That was hard.
Oh dude, it was bad.
I remember
bro.
seeing a fan angle, and like a lot of people were like leaving. And then,
bro, because back then it was like, nowadays, like when you're just thinking anything could happen at any point. You're always on alert. That's nowadays fans are so much more like wise to it and smart. And it's happened a lot more. like back then, dude, when it happened, it was like an earthquake. Like literally, like
It was
through,
like
like,
a
you're like,
first.
oh
It was
no.
it was kind of like a first of its kind almost. And Edge also, it was like the guy who was the ultimate opportunist.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
And then Punk does
him,
that.
him fall him. Oh, I accidentally clicked that. My bad. Him fall. Oh, dude, him falling in the ladder and just being there when Jeff Hardy.
That was
I
ridiculous.
remember being so excited. Oh, it was so fucked
By
up.
the way, Jeff Hardy first WWE title win in Buffalo.
Yeah, big time, big time.
Big clap for
Yeah,
that one.
absolutely. Okay, we got the Hardys go to the multiverse. Last but not least, you and I, a little hometown cooking. We're gonna hopefully see some of these amazing wrestlers and talents at Nickel City Con this weekend. Speaking of who,
We're gonna be saying thank you. We're gonna be wooing. We're gonna be deleting.
we got JBL.
What?
It is APA picture. That's definitely not his most money-making image right there. Well, come on, we got to get.
No,
a
I
better
mean,
one
like
there.
he's almost not.
Carlito now
recognizable for
making
a lot
the
of people.
circuits. We can definitely get a good time there.
Hacksaw
With
Jim
that said-
Duggan, Lita.
With that said, what did you think about my costume idea? You never responded in our chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
Why
like-
not? Are you afraid? Are you Slick? And I'm not gonna spoil it, but you're afraid to say it, aren't you? You're afraid to say the two words, the three words.
No. That's not it at all.
I think you are, or else you would do it.
No.
You got to do it.
I don't know, dude. That's just like, oh man, that's a tough ask.
I'm doing the tougher one. Unless you want to switch, in which case I'll definitely switch with you.
Hang on, let me see this photo.
Yeah. But looking forward to Nickel City Con. Yeah, we got
Maybe.
Jeff and Matt will be there on Friday, by the way. And Friday is definitely gonna be like a little bit later crowd. We should try and get there.
Yeah, Friday 3 to 8 p.m. and then Saturday, Sunday, both 10 a.m. kickoffs. Saturday goes till 6, Sunday till 4.
Awesome. All right, cool. Looking forward to seeing the Hardys in Buffalo. Looking forward to seeing everything going on there. Hopefully we get a good Dynamite tonight. Any final thoughts from the final boss?
And you know what that means.
All right. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be there. See, money's in. Hope you're in. Thanks for tuning along with us on the show where it's not wrestling with your budget. It's not wrestling with your conscience. It is wrestling with emotion.